Well, hi guys. I just wanted to follow up on my previous video about the 411. There are some things that I omitted to tell you that I've recently found out. Um, some very, very strange things. For example, one of the FBI agents that was assigned to the project, ended up killing himself. Now, whether that is to do with the project itself or other, I don't know. They assign his death very in the category of very, very unusual, very, very odd, as there wasn't any apparent reason for it. And he killed himself. He took his life with his revolver. I believe it was in his bathroom while his wife was still in the property. So that's one odd thing. Um, Another thing that struck me as quite strange and quite odd is that before or after these people go missing, directly there is bad weather. There's always a weather storm, and it always seems to follow that pattern. So when they're looking or they're studying missing people, um, they're looking for a specific set of events that follow a specific pattern, and obviously one of them is the weather changes, the dramatic and drastic turn in the weather, so it becomes very inclement and basically abysmal, awful. So you're looking at storms. That seems to be one. Um, there are others, but I haven't quite found out what they are yet. There's also this nagging thing in the back of my mind, and it seems to be in most people's, is that the government do know exactly what's going on, but are loath to release any information that may be prevalent. In fact, they've been caught, park authorities and local authorities and government have been caught lying to the families of the missing and to the press. Um, when David Polides went to research exact numbers and exact cases, individual cases, he went to the park authorities and requested that they hand him over the information, or could they hand him over the information of those that have gone missing in numbers and individuals, and they said, well, we don't have any. We haven't got any. We haven't got any information on those. We don't keep that information. Now that's just ludicrous. Why wouldn't you keep that sort of information? Why wouldn't you? They denied even documenting it. However, he persisted, and he wanted some for a specific area in a national park, and they quoted something like hundreds of thousands of dollars to give him basic information. And when he asked if he could have it nationwide, they quoted him just to give him the information. So this is just documents. These are just paper they could, it'd be easy accessible. It should be all there, categorised and catalogued, and kept in one place. Um, and when he asked full accounts of the missing around the national parks for a full number and categorisation, they said they would give it to him, but he needed to stump up 1.5 or $1.4 million, which is an astronomical amount of money for that. It just seems that they seem to be setting the bar so high that it's making it impossible for him to get that information. I mean, first of all, they deny having it. Then they say, well, we do have it, or they admit to having it by saying, well, we'll give it to you, but it's X amount for this small area that you want. And then when he requests the larger area or the full area, then they hit him for $1.4 million. It's ludicrous. It's absolutely crazy. So there's definitely something going on there. Um, he has said that individual park rangers have come to him and said that there's something very, very suspicious going on there. But overall, they've all been sworn to secrecy. They've all been told not to mention anything, not to talk about anything. But they know for a fact, these rangers, that there's something odd going on there. And I'm sure some of them want to maybe divulge the information that they have, but feel that they can't for fear of whatever, fear of their lives or fear of their family getting harassed or taken. I don't know. It just seems very, very odd. But as I say, that's a couple of the things. Just a couple. There's all sorts of, when you look into it, there's all sorts of odd inconsistencies and things that don't sort of line up, that scream cover up. It screams that they're hiding something. I noticed as well that quite a few of these people that have gone missing tend to have gone missing near military bases, apparently. There's some speculation that they haven't looked at. Oh yes, and that's another thing. Whilst I remember, bodies of water. There's always been big bodies of water near or close to where these people have gone missing. Whether that's a factor, I don't know, but it just seems quite odd that in every missing case that's been appropriated, that it actually falls into the category of one of the 411, or could be a 411 case. It seems to be they've gone missing in a big body of water with very inclement or very bad weather patterns following shortly before or shortly after they've gone missing. So it's just very odd. The more you listen to it, the more you get involved in it, excuse me guys, the more intriguing it becomes. And it just throws up more questions. However, I'm sure it'll come to light one day. I think this has been going on for many, many years. As far as they can make out, they can track it back to sort of the 1800s. I think right up until the 1930s, it's obviously still going on today, and it hasn't stopped. But I think there was a big period of time between the 1800s, late 1800 and 1930s, when there was, the numbers were higher. So yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? You go out for a walk in the woods or a forest. I know they're vast areas. Oh, that's another thing as well. Hunters apparently, which are they're very versed in the wilderness. They know exactly what they're doing. They're armed to the teeth. These guys and these women, they carry weapons with them to protect themselves against other animals, as well as the ones that they're hunting. And even though they've hunted this area for many, many years, and they know it like the back of their garden, like their back garden, they still go missing. They've still gone missing, and this is something that is perplexing them. And of course, it follows the same pattern. There's doctors that have gone missing. Another common factor is that a lot of the people seem to be carrying some sort of illness or injury or disability. There seems to be, all of them apparently have got some form of disability. Apparently the little boy that went missing was, I don't know, had some sort of learning disability. So yeah, they've all got some form of disability, whether it's learning or physical. There seems to be something wrong with the health of the particular people that go missing. There's some very fit people that have gone missing as well, but also people, they've still suffered with some sort of problem. Doctors, they've gone missing in sections as well. So 8 of them are like PhD doctors with doctorates, so medical people. It's all followed patterns. And I don't know. The more you look into it, the more intriguing and concerning it is. But I guess, like me, well, I'm none the wiser. In fact, the more I look at it, the more, as I say, the more confusing it becomes. I'm certainly none the wiser, and I don't know if anybody else is. But how odd that it seems to be those certain patterns and individual things that happen leading up to or just after someone's been abducted. And I say abducted because, well, I say abducted because they've been found in places that are not relevant to where they are. People that know what they're doing go missing. People that are well versed in the woods, like hunters and stuff, they've gone missing. I don't know, just very, very odd. It's, you know, the Appalachians as well. A lot of it's gone on around there. So yeah, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Perhaps you come from one of these areas. Perhaps you can give me some information or let me know things that maybe you or one of your relatives have seen or ancestors or stories that you've heard of. I find it very intriguing, very interesting. So much so that, to be honest, if I had the money and I had the time, I would definitely hop a plane to the States, just to go and have a look, to see what it's all about. To, you know, apart from the fact that I'd like to go to see national parks anyway because they look incredibly gorgeous. I'd like to go out there and see what's going on with these with Sasquatch or Bigfoot, or just to follow up on these missing cases. I'd find it very interesting. Maybe one day, if I get, you know, enough money, if we win the lottery, maybe I'll be able to go over there and spend some considerable time looking into it, and gathering stories and data. I don't know. It's got me hooked a bit, to be honest. That's not a good thing, because I become obsessed with it. When something like that happens, I become obsessive with it. Anyway, Hazel wouldn't let me go anyway. So, so yeah. Anyway, I hope that's okay. And I will speak to you soon, guys. Take it easy. Bye.